Hey, good evening, everyone. My name is Emily Carter, and for the past 2 years, I have been homeless. I never thought I'd be standing here, on this stage, telling my story. But life doesn't always go the way we plan. Sometimes it takes everything from you and leaves you with nothing but your voice. I wasn't always homeless. I had a home once, a small apartment that smelled like my mother's perfume, where the radio played softly in the mornings while she made coffee. It wasn't much, but it was ours. And when you have love, a warm meal, and a safe place to sleep, you don't need much else. My mother was my whole world. She worked 2 jobs, cleaning offices during the day and waiting tables at night, just to make sure I had what I needed. She carried the weight of everything on her shoulders, but she never let me see how tired she was. She always smiled, always told me that no matter what, we had each other, and that was enough. But cancer doesn't care how much you love someone. It doesn't care how hard they fight or how much you pray for more time. One day, my mother was fine. The next, she wasn't. At first, she told me it was just exhaustion, just stress from working too much. But the hospital visits started, the medication, the weight loss, and one night, as I sat next to her in that hospital bed, she took my hand and whispered, "I'm so sorry, baby." I was 14 years old when I lost my mother, too young to be alone, too young to know what came next. For a while, I stayed in our apartment, surrounded by memories, pretending she'd walk through the door at any moment. But reality doesn't wait. Rent was overdue. The bills piled up. And then, one day, I came home to find the locks changed. I remember standing outside with a plastic bag of clothes, staring at the door, knowing I had nowhere to go. At first, I thought maybe someone would help. Maybe a friend, a neighbor, someone who had known my mother. But no one did. I learned quickly that when you have nothing, the world keeps moving without you. I spent my first night on the streets trying to stay awake because I was too afraid to sleep. I sat outside a closed diner, my stomach empty, the cold air cutting through my thin jacket. The first week was the hardest. I tried to find places to sleep, bus stops, doorways, anywhere that felt safe. Some nights, I walked until morning just to keep warm. I stayed in shelters when there was space, but sometimes there wasn't. Sometimes I had to choose between a shelter that didn't feel safe and the streets that felt even worse. I learned things I never thought I'd have to learn. I learned which places would let me sit for a few hours before asking me to leave. I learned how to go days without eating, how to pretend I wasn't starving. I learned how to disappear, because that's what happens when you're homeless. People don't see you. They walk past you like you're nothing. Some look at you with pity before turning away. Others look at you like you're a problem, something they wish wasn't there. And after a while, you start to believe them. You start to believe you don't matter.
Woke up inside a song machine, pixels glitching like a crazy scene. Every line they write, deja vu, caught in codes of rhythm blue. Synthetic beats under the night, neon dreams keeping me inside. Can't shut down this endless tune, chasing vibes beneath the moon. Trapped in an AI song factory, can't escape this digital tapestry. Dancing in a loop, it's
But there was one thing that kept me going, one thing that reminded me I was still here: music. My mom used to sing to me silly little songs while she cooked, lullabies when I couldn't sleep. And after she was gone, music became the only thing that made me feel close to her. I sang when I was cold, when I was hungry, when I was scared. I sang in empty subway stations, in parks, in places where no one was listening. Because when I sang, I wasn't just another homeless girl. I was Emily. And for a few minutes, I felt real again. Some nights, people would stop and listen, just for a moment. Sometimes they'd smile. Sometimes they'd drop a few coins. And in those moments, I wasn't invisible. Someone saw me. Someone heard me. That's why I'm here tonight. For 2 years, I have been unseen. 2 years of walking past people who pretend I don't exist. 2 years of feeling like I am fading into nothing. But I refuse to disappear. Not anymore. I don't know what tomorrow looks like for me. I don't know if I'll ever have a home again. But I know this: I still have my voice. And no matter how many nights I spent feeling invisible, I refuse to be forgotten. I lost my home. I lost my family. But I never lost my voice. And tonight, for the first time in a long time, I finally feel heard.